Joey, always one of my favorite announcements of the off season. What's this? The 41st, 42nd time we've done this. You're back as a Cardiff Devils. Delighted to announce that. Is it still the same as the first time?
Yeah, it feels the same. Probably not a big surprise seeing me back. Everybody knows by now how much I love this place, love the city. Formed so many great relationships here. It's like my second home at this point.
Let's before we move on to new coach and aspirations for the year. Let's touch on last year. It was an up and down year. There was some good hockey played. You were in league title contention until the second, third last weekend of the season. A playoff final, obviously. How do you reflect on last year?
Yeah, I think you kind of just said it there. A lot of good times along the way. A lot of fun memories. We had some good wins here and there. But at the end of the day, if you're looking back, we didn't win a championship, and for this club, that's unacceptable. So there were some highs in the year, but at the end of the day, a little disappointing for sure.
You've been on that journey of expectations growing. You came in the first year of the new ownership in the big blue tent. I think maybe we were just grateful to have a team. How have you seen those expectations exponentially grow every year?
Yeah, you want to be on a team with high expectations. You want to be on a team that's expected to win. That's what I think we're all here to do. And once you raise the bar, then you have to. It's hard. It's hard to get to the top, but it's even harder to stay there. You have every other team in this league is doing what we're doing this off season. We're trying to get better and trying to win championships. So you always have to raise the bar every year.
Mentally, do you embrace that? And I guess, how do you deal with that pressure? I know there's a lot of talk. Do you look at social media? Do you not? Forums, this kind of thing. How do you kind of embrace the pressure of playing for the Cardiff Devils?
Well, I think as a player, I try to lead by example. I try to, the new players that come in, try to teach them what it entails to win a championship, especially the league. It's a grind. It's a long season. You have to be consistent. We kind of joke about it, but like every game's like a game 7. But it really is. You can lose the season in September, and I think, one of the issues last year is we were a little too inconsistent. You can see when we played our best, we were really good, but when we weren't good, it wasn't good enough. So I think preaching the consistency throughout a whole year is key.
Something that was pretty good was that line that you were on with Cox and Sanford. I know they're fantastic players, but you always need a good center, a good guy to dish you the puck and play a little defense, 200 foot as well. What was it like going out with those guys?
It was a lot of fun playing with those guys. Really talented players, obviously, highly skilled. I think we kind of all brought a little something different to that line, which made it successful. But the one thing I admire about those guys is their work ethic too. They're not just really good hockey players, but they work hard. They really want to win too. So I admire that a lot about them.
Prior to COVID and when we kind of sadly lost you to Europe at that point, you were captain of this team. You're now ultimate captain of this team, but as you've just described, a team leader. How do you take on that role? What is your role? Take us inside the locker room a little bit. How do you support the other leadership group?
Like I kind of mentioned earlier, I think primarily I'm a lead by example type of person. I think I learned kind of my early years of pro that if I wanted to continue to play hockey, you needed to be a professional, which means showing up every day, going through your routine, whether you're tired or you hadn't slept or whatever the factors are. You have to be a pro every single day, and at the end of the day, you're doing your best to help your game, which is going to help the team win. And I think I try to, hopefully the younger guys can kind of see that and see that, I am older now, but I feel like maybe my game hasn't dropped, too much at my age. And that's kind of the goal for me. I don't want to play as long as I can. I want to play at, my highest ability as long as I can. So I think it's just approaching every single day, like this is our job, but it's also fun. It shouldn't be hard to show up to a hockey dressing room with all your buddies that have the same interest. I love doing it, and everybody should as well.
Your game certainly hasn't dropped. From my less than expert opinion, I thought you were still the best 200-foot forward in the league last year. Has it changed at all because of the stage you are in your career?
Well, I think coming into a team that's different coach, different systems, different structure will naturally kind of change the way I play my game. Before here, I think we were a team that we were in the O-zone, kind of a cycle team, playing puck down low, possession, and then I think this year we changed a little bit. We were more off the rush, and so I think naturally you kind of adapt to how your team's playing and what the structure is. But at the end of the day, I know the strengths in my game. Like you said, I take pride in playing in the D zone before the O zone. So I just try to stay with my strengths and try to play my game.
I feel like this is going to be a theme a lot of my interviews, and certainly not a criticism of certainly coaching staff that were here last year. The power play was a struggle. You're a key guy on the power play. When we interviewed Pete Russell, he talked about confidence and the game tapes that he'd looked at, maybe the power play lacking confidence. What were your thoughts being out there?
Yeah, I definitely think confidence is a big factor as to why it wasn't successful. Very frustrating, obviously. I think there's probably other factors, and I know everybody says like you just got to shoot the puck, and I agree. Shooting the puck, we do need to shoot the puck more, but at times you have to make sure when you shoot the puck, you're in position to retrieve it if there are rebounds, and you kind of all need to be on the same page. You need to have somebody net front. So there's a lot of factors that go into it besides just shooting the puck, but obviously that's something going into the next season that we need to really focus on and get better, because at the end of the day that's what's going to win you games. And we've had good power plays here in the past, so it's not like this has always been a struggle. It's just maybe hopefully a one-off that we really need to focus on next year.
I mentioned Pete Russell there. You know him from the British game. I know, and only with you, it was only one beer, Joey, but I know you shared a beer with him the other night. What do you make of the new coach, your dealings with him so far?
Yeah, obviously he's a very experienced coach. He's had a lot of success in the last few weeks with GB and then his team in Ravensburg there. I think kind of he's a coach that what you see is what you're going to get. He's very honest. I think he's going to be very demanding, which I think is what we need. He seems like a hockey wizard with his tactics and structure. So it's very exciting to have a guy like that here.
And just finally, Joey, you're someone who can give us an idea, a barometer of the league right now. You came in. It was growing and growing. Then there was COVID. Where do you see the league right now? Where do you see the level of competition in the Elite League?
I think it's still very competitive. It's hard to judge what it was before COVID. I do look back to, I know Belfast had a very successful year last year, but I think the team that they had before the COVID year when they won the league, when we tied in points, was probably the best Belfast team I've seen. And I think our Cardiff team was really good at that point too. So I think the top teams, were maybe a little bit more competitive, a little more. I mean, if you look at some of the resumes and some of the players in the league at the time, it was pretty impressive. But I still think it's very competitive, and I think it's very appealing to a lot of players to come to this league for many reasons. So I think it's only going to continue to rise.
Must be appealing for you, Joe. You come back every year. We're pleased for that. Any message for the Devils fans to send them off into their summer?
I just hope everybody has a great summer. I know we're highly motivated for next season to get back those championships that we want, that we've had in the past. So I think you're going to see a very exciting Cardiff Devils team next year.